What is your view on Bitcoin today, and what do you think the opportunity is from here? And you've kind of already kind of teased, order of magnitude, but maybe kind of connected to this, like what do you think is still misunderstood about Bitcoin today that lends itself to have that order of magnitude?
Well, I think the thing I would say is I think it's just not understood by enough people yet. And as I mentioned, when I started investing in, there's maybe 200,000 people using it. Maybe there's 100 million people now, but there's still several billion people that don't have any exposure to Bitcoin, don't really know about it. And what I found over the years of kind of evangelizing this new asset class is there really isn't any well-written, articulate paper that's negative on Bitcoin. And that's kind of the holy grail. I've been asking people for that for years, is I'd love to see an intelligent person write a lengthy paper on why Bitcoin is wrong or failure or not a good investment. And that's really the punchline. There isn't that. You occasionally get, the sound bites of, Bitcoin's rat poison or something like that. But no one actually ever writes a very long negative piece on that. And so that's basically what happens is the kind of the capture rate on people is so high that once someone actually spends a few days, reads about it, thinks about it, they normally end up buying some. And that's what is driving the price up. And that's what's been driving the price up for 10 years. And so the thought of what do I think about Bitcoin now? It's been going up at a compound annual growth rate of 213% for 10 years. And again, I've never seen an asset like that. That's just, off the charts. It does have some bubbles and it has had some pretty crazy bear markets. But if you graph the price exponentially over the last 10 years, it looks pretty consistent. Again, occasionally gets ahead of itself, occasionally gets behind. And right now, although it's rallied a lot since the pandemic lows a year ago, it's still below its long-term trend line. So I think Bitcoin's fairly valued. It's certainly not a bubble right now. And I think it can go up quite a bit. So we have a bunch of things coming together at the same time. The tech's being built out for the last 12 years. That story is, on track. It's great. But the two big things that have happened recently is the monetary stimulus response to the virus is literally off the charts. The US now prints more money every month than it did in the first 200 years of its existence. That has to increase the price of things whose quantity can't be eased. That's the way it works. If you print trillions of dollars of new pieces of paper money, it's going to take more money to buy things like gold or Bitcoin, or even the S&P 500. That, to my mind, that's the best proof of our thesis here, that the unlimited printing of money is going to increase the price in that paper money of things that can't be increased. And the S&P has had a huge hit to earnings because obviously the pandemic has caused enormous financial damage to companies, but the price of the S&P 500 is way up, right? And that's just because there's so much money sloshing around. So that's driving up the price of Bitcoin, it's driving up the price of Ethereum, all the other blockchains. And right at the same time, we're making it much easier for both individuals and institutions to get exposure. A long time ago, it's really hard. You had to take a selfie with your passport and send it to an exchange and wait for a week to get approved and all that stuff. And now PayPal just turned on 300 million people that can buy Bitcoin with a click. So it's just a lot easier to get exposure. I think over the next 6 or 8 months, you're going to see major Wall Street firms turn on their wealth management platforms to allow, high net worth individuals to buy Bitcoin. All those things are going to drive the price up.